So I wanted to remake an old video from, wow, 3 years ago. Time has flown. But today I want to talk real quick about Katamari Damacy Reroll. It's a fun game with a fun premise and an equally wacky story. I'm Mr. J, and let's roll into some fun with Katamari Damacy Reroll. The story, for how sparse it is this guy, the king of all cosmos, gets a little too drunk one night and destroys all the stars, constellations, and our moon in his stupor. And upon sobering up, he realizes his mistake, but instead of fixing it himself, our eccentric godlike entity has his pint-sized son, the prince, fix the cosmos for dear old dad. The equally insane side story that follows is this girl, Michiru, can sense the prince and his efforts to repair the night sky, and cheers him on as her father is readying to head to space to find the cause of all this. You may wonder, how will the prince, a 5 centimeter tall being, rebuild the cosmos? Well, with the help of Katamaris. The Katamari is a magical ball that can grab anything and anyone that comes into contact with it, and allows the user to keep on rolling things up without losing momentum. Now, wielding a Katamari isn't too hard to grasp, but it takes a bit of getting used to. Thankfully, the tutorial helps you nail down how to move the Katamari, building up speed to ram objects, traversing the environment, and how the shape and profile of objects will make it easier or harder to roll the Katamari around. But once you have a grasp on the basics, that's where the real fun begins. The game has you start off small in most cases, dealing with stuff like paper clips, cookies, shogi tiles, and flies, to things like signposts, cows, cars, random civilians, and dumpsters, and then finally stuff like oil tankers, masses of land, multiple weather phenomenon, and the gods themselves. It's just really fun rolling it around and really fun watching how big the Katamari can get in a matter of moments. Though what you do generally want to avoid is violently hitting things or letting objects ram into your Katamari, because while the Katamari itself is indestructible, the objects are not, and you will send a few things flying off and reduce the size of your Katamari when doing so. The bigger concern is actually the timer in your standard missions, because most times you'll be working against the clock, meaning you get the missions done, and get them done lickety-split, or the King of All Cosmos will get sad and disappointed, and it hurts seeing this jovial goofball be all sad and stuff. The basic missions are Make a Star ones, where you'll need to roll up enough stuff to make a large enough Katamari for the King of All Cosmos to chuck into the sky and restore space. I really love these missions because I was always just fighting against the clock to see how big I could get them, so that way the King of All Cosmos could grade my handiwork, which was fun in of itself. Then the next type of missions are Constellation missions, where you'll have to collect specified items in order to complete the level. Stuff usually like twins, fish, goats, crabs, stuff that's kind of like in the wheelhouse of, what is it again? Oh yeah, astrology. That stuff, You also have Score Attack mode, which is you going for the largest Katamari possible in the time allowed. This is essentially your arcade mode of the game, because, you're trying to get the highest score possible. And then certain levels have Eternal mode, which is letting you explore the level with no time limits, because I'm pretty sure this is for the folks out there who just wanted to roll everything up in the level and then just have fun having the largest Katamari possible on the field. And while the game is short enough that the story can be completed in less than a few hours, it certainly is chock full of fun and replayability. What honestly drew me into Katamari Damacy Reroll again is it's a goofy, lighthearted adventure of the intrepid little prince restoring the cosmos with nothing but a smile on his face and a Katamari barreling towards his goal. Plus, the soundtrack, which is called Shibuya K, fits the tone and energy of the game perfectly. Whether it's slow and soothing or fast and upbeat, the music always feels like it belongs as the prince is joyfully rolling up random objects. And if YouTube didn't flag my upload for copyright infringement because of the music, then you should be hearing some of the soundtrack from Katamari Damacy. And after sitting down and listening to the soundtrack for a bit, here are my favorite tracks. Katamari and Nana, Katamari on the Rocks, Overture, The Moon and the Prince, Fugue number 7777, A Wonderful Star's Walk is Wonderful, A Crimson Rose and a Gin Tonic, K Sarah Sarah, Cherry Blossom Color Season, Lovely Angel, and Katamari Love. There's just something enthralling about 80s synth, lounge jazz, and samba all mashed together that make me listen to half the soundtrack on repeat while I work on other stuff, making lunch or taking a walk. And even if you don't want to play the game after the video, I still highly recommend listening to the soundtrack, because Katamari Damacy's music is something you have to just sit down, listen to, and appreciate. I won't lie, I love big, action-packed, adventurous games that take me on a journey through an interesting world. But I also love stylized, upbeat, and experimental games like Katamari Damacy because it's a welcome deviation from the norm. It's trying something different, doing things that most regular action puzzle games would either shy away from or not think of doing at all. And it goes about making you, the player, engage with the gameplay in such a way that it's hard to put the game down once you pick it up. That sense of accomplishment you feel from grabbing everything in sight or picking up every single crab, swan, twin, or other specific object is euphoric. There are very few experiences like Katamari Damacy, and I highly recommend you at least play it once in your life to understand why. Keita Takahashi's vision to create a novel but easy to understand game really shines through here. The charm, the whimsy, and the fun put into this game really makes it unlike many that I've played in my lifetime. It's the right amount of absurd, silly, heartwarming, and positive beats that make it hard to outright hate this game. It's a constant ray of sunshine in a sea of bleak feelings and bad vibes, and even 22 years later, this game feels like it hasn't aged a day. Even with the quality updates given to Reroll, it still looks and feels like a game you got at GameStop as a kid. A game that, even as the passage of time marches on, doesn't have any aspect age horribly to the point of a rework or a rewrite. A timeless classic that you can come back to every so often, because it doesn't feel overbearing or overwhelming, and welcomes you to challenge yourself at your own pace. If you're interested, Katamari Damacy Reroll is on everything. Nintendo Switch, PlayStation, Xbox, Steam, and whatever provider that it has, and it's $30 or $9 on sale to enjoy this little adventure. So what are you waiting for? Take the initiative, go forth with the prince, get down with the funky beats, roll around the streets, and pick up everything you can to restore the universe, and make the king of all cosmos proud. One more thing before I go, folks. I am sorry about the single upload and rush feeling this all has. Something that would affect me personally and my community came up, and I had to deal with it before it became a bigger issue, and unfortunately, that took precedent over making content, because I can make content at any time. But when you're an adult, you really can't shirk responsibilities or put things off, because then it affects you, the infrastructure around you, and so on and so forth, you know? So yeah, what I'm trying to say here is, this shit just happened and I could not avoid it. With all that said, my next video is going to come out on May 18th, and it's going to be on Witch Hat Atelier. And if you haven't noticed, yes, I am trying to catch on the hype function because I am a channel that is less than 500,000 subscribers, so I'm trying to take advantage of every opportunity for growth that I can. I'm Mr. J, and I'm gonna grab We Love Katamari after this.